Welcome to the Prince Makai channel. It's your boy Prince Makai, and I am back with a story time.
When all the smoke like a vape pen. Hold on, brother, chase him. Say my name, I pop up like the boogeyman. Fucking the game over, dropping bangers with no hood.
This story time is a little sad, and I was just thinking about her the other day, but it's definitely something that has impacted my life and will forever impact my life forever. When I was almost 20 years old, so when I was 19 years old, my cousin, who was 18 at the time of her death, died in a horrific car accident. And, you know, it really changed my life. It really did. She was the first person my age or around my age that I lost in my entire life. I have never lost anyone, a friend, a family member, anyone that was my age that died in that way. I mean, it was just horrific. I have anxiety disorder. I'm very open about it. I've always been paranoid. I've always been scared of things happening to me, but it was never with cars until she passed away. Ever since her death, when I'm in a car, especially if I'm not in a car with my mom or someone that I really trust as a driver, I get very paranoid. I hold it in because I'm very good at doing that. I hold it in and I'm like normal. But ever since her death, I am just petrified being in the car. And I never had a fear of cars. I never had a fear of being in a car. I never had a fear of being in an accident. I never had a fear of any of that. I've always had a fear of planes. I'm scared of heights, so I've always had a fear of being up in the air. I always tell people I'd rather drive all the way to California than to fly. Now I'd rather just fly, but before then I was just like, you know what, I rather, and not because of now I have like a little phobia of cars. It's only because, you know, I'm older now and what the fuck, I look like driving to California. But I say that because I've always just preferred to be in a car than to be in a plane and just drive everywhere. Now, you know, ever since her death, I have a little phobia of being in a car. Even though her death could have been very much prevented, you know, it's still in my mind because of my paranoia. I'm very uneasy now being inside, especially with people that I don't really trust as drivers, you know, and I do get a little, you know, paranoid. It's not really bad. It's not like how I was when I used to fly, when I'm like, but you know, it's a little part of me that's, you know, more alert and more like, okay, what's going on? It was 2019, like I said before, I was almost 20 years old when she passed away, and it was devastating for me. I was hanging out with my friend at the time, and that day I remember we were chilling in his house, his parents' house, and they live in this big, beautiful home in the suburbs, and we were just chilling, and I'm like, I'm bored, let's just go drive around and do something. So he was like, yeah, let's just go drive around and think of something to do. And I'll never forget, it was nighttime. We were driving. My brother hit me up and he was like, you know, Coreyann died. And I'm like, Coreyann? Like, no, that's bullshit. Like, this is someone that I had just seen some months ago when my brother got shot. She came to the hospital. No, it's not true. And no. Then I looked on Facebook and it was everywhere. And I was just in shock. I have never received a loss like that close to me, who was my age. Never. She was very well loved and she was very popular. So her funeral was packed. I was just devastated. I was in shock. I couldn't understand it. For a long time, I was just in disbelief. You know, at the time, I wasn't an atheist. I believed in God, asking God, why? Why did this have to happen? Why? It really hit me then that you can go at any time.
She can be gone. I can be gone at any minute. I don't like that feeling.
Any age. I've always known that, but it really hit me. The thought of that just still to this day doesn't sit well with me. She was a beautiful girl, and it's still a death that affects everybody that knew her and that loved her. I had really good times with her. We weren't close like that, but we were. Every time we saw each other, we had a good time. We embraced each other. We hugged each other. We loved on each other. There was a few times I had to stop her from beating bitches up.
I don't fight. I don't wrestle. I beat bitches up.
up. Like, literally, like, she knows what I'm talking about. Coreyann knows. Like, one time I had to stop her from trying to fight this girl at the carnival. And another time I had to stop her from trying to fight this girl at the block parties that we used to have in my hometown. Like, it was just, she was not only was she a fighter and feisty, but she stood up for her family and she loved her family. She was very loyal to her family, and she didn't play about us, her family and her friends. She just didn't play about us. And like I said before, it just took me a long time to, I don't want to say get over it, but come to terms with it and accept it for what it is. I was kind of in denial for a long time, and it was one of the things in my life that I just couldn't understand why. And then at times I've also thought that it wasn't real. I'm in an alternate universe or alternate state where this didn't happen. It's something's wrong with me in my mind. I miss her smile, and I miss the way she laughed. She had this little giggly, girly laugh. Her voice too as well. Every time I saw her, it was nothing but love and embrace. And when my brother got shot, she came to the hospital and stayed there for hours. And she was just so sweet and so nice. I wonder what she would have been had she been here. She always had a little brother with her, my little cousin. And she used to have him everywhere she went. And she was just so nurturing and just so caring. And like I said before, she just didn't play about her family. She didn't play about us. She did come to me. And my family, we have a history of seeing spirits. And, you know, be able to talk to spirits. And she came to me literally after she died. And because I was staying the night at my uncle's house at the time, and I was just thinking about her so much that day. And I ended up crying myself to sleep. This was like a month after she passed. And she literally came to me, put her arms around me, and told me to go to sleep. And I heard her voice. I wasn't, you know, it wasn't a dream. I wasn't sleeping. I was crying myself to sleep, but kind of in and out, like going in, but then going out. And I heard her say, "Go to sleep, I'm fine. Go to sleep, I'm fine." That same night, I had a dream about her. She was in my dream telling me, it was the most random conversation. She was telling me that how grateful she was to be mixed with Black and Puerto Rican. And then we were at this basketball game and we were just chopping it up talking, and she was telling me she's fine and she's doing okay. And we were just sitting there talking. It was just a random, so random. She hasn't came to me since. Have I had dreams about her since then? I think I had one dream after that, but I'm talking about in person before I fell asleep. She came to me. She hasn't came to me since, but I feel her. I feel her presence, and I feel that she definitely is around me and my family at times. But to be so young and to pass the way that she did, it forever changed me. And it forced me to realize that you really can go at any time. Just because you're young doesn't mean you can't pass away. And I've always knew that, but it didn't really register to me. And because I never lost any friends my age, and I've never lost any family members my age, I've always thought that her, people I grew up with, people I was friends with, you know, family members my age, we're all gonna grow old together. No one's gonna die. We're all young. We're not gonna die. No. Trust me. You know, that really woke me up. And I want to say that you have to make right with people who you really love. And I say that because the next day they had a candlelight memorial for her at my family's church. And I saw a cousin of mine that I was not speaking to. We were not speaking at the time at all. We had actually fallen out a few years before that. That made us come together. I remember seeing her at the church, at the altar, and I just went up to her and I gave her a hug, and she literally hugged me and cried with me. And since then, her and I are like, what? Like, we don't talk every day, but you can't tell me nothing about my cousin. But Coreyann's death brought us back together. I would say that's the good that came out of that. So when my brother had texted me that she passed away, and I went on the internet and I saw it all over, I was getting calls left and right from people. And I remember going back to my friend's house, and I was just hysterical. His mom didn't even know what to do. She was just looking at me like helpless, like she didn't even know what to do. I went to go to the doctors. I had like a doctor's appointment, and one of the nurses there at the front desk, she saw me and she walked me over to the patient room, and she says, "Are you related to the girl that passed away? Her name was Coreyann." And I'm like, yeah, how did you know? I don't know this woman from a hole in the wall. Never seen her before. She's never seen me.
And I never met this girl a day in my life. I never talked to this chick.
Kid you not, she said this, like, not a lie. She says, because you look like her. Like, I literally saw her in your face. And I'm like, for real? Like, so I was like, really? She was like, yeah, I just knew you were related to her because you look like her. And that just really warmed my heart. Do I think we look alike? Absolutely not. But, I mean, I personally think she was literally with me while I was at the doctor's. And I think that's what she meant. She started to see a resemblance because Coreyann must have been, literally, her soul was like all around me. And the nurse was able to see her. That made me really start to believe that she was with me and with her family members all the time. And to this day, sometimes I can feel her presence. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I'll just be sitting down and I'm like, she's here. Like, she's definitely here. Since her death, I have definitely lost quite a few people that I grew up with, I was friends with. You know, when you're getting older in your 20s and stuff, and now I'm about to enter my late 20s, you are going to lose people. I just think that when you're growing up, it's abnormal to lose. Obviously, when you're a kid and a teenager, it's kind of abnormal to lose people because, you know, we're so young. But I love and miss her so much. I cannot wait till I see her again on the other side. It's the Prince Makai channel. Thanks for watching. Peace.